Hello guys, welcome to another Few Money. Today, Saturday, we are live again and Bitcoin is going down just to make us all unhappy. So before we start the usual analysis, you guys, if you know already this content, gently touch the like button and subscribe to the channel. We are going to talk Bitcoin for some time. You guys know it already. So I want to see some likes there, and let's see who's in the chat today. Yeah, people are joining already. So the Telegram group is going to come, I guess. We have a few likes already. That's good. So guys, how's been all this week, this crazy week going down? Everyone's still alive, or do we need to show our unhappiness like this?
All right, let's roll.
Not this. This
I love
one.
the smell of napalm in the morning.
I
love the smell of
love
napalm in the morning.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. I guess we have been bombed for some time already, so it's not been easy to get out of this downtrend, but I'm going to start by going to the price to time model. So let's share the screen. Don't forget, I've been using this footnote here. Join the Telegram group if you don't know it already. So just open a browser, go to t.me/fumoney, and you will be invited to our Telegram group, or you can just use the Telegram app and search for FU Money. I'm sure it will be the top result. Beware, because there's a channel and there's a group. So the group has more than 100 subscribers already. This has been just for a week and a few days. It's a week and a few days old, the group, so it's only 100 and some people. The channel, however, is not, well, you can also subscribe to the channel, but I don't really post there. It's just part of the group, but the group is where we all discuss our ideas and what's happening in the Bitcoin world. So if you want to join, you will be very, very welcome. So let's go and see what's happening on the markets. And we start as usual with the price to time model. So I'm going to zoom it. For those who are new, this is the 2013 cycle, the bull cycle of 2013, with this halfway top that we had and 75% correction, and then later the final top for this bull cycle. That's the blue candle pattern. The yellow candle pattern is the cycle of 2017, and comparing the current cycle, which is this one here, the green and red bars, of course, the actual one, the one we are experiencing right now. We are getting delayed as compared to the 2017 cycle, but still on top of the yellow candle pattern. So let's see if the new week will start. Of course, if it starts around this price level, we will definitely be delayed, and that's not a very good sign for now. However, anything is possible before October. So we are still on track inside the rectangle. Let's see how this develops. But each day more is telling me that we could be delayed as compared to the 2017 cycle, which would put us outside of this rectangle here to reach the final top of the bull cycle. So far, so good. We are still there, but let's see how the new week, which will start on, from Sunday to Monday, during the morning of Monday. Let's see how this starts, but I guess we don't have much time to get up there and continue the trend on top of this yellow candle pattern. So I'm guessing that at least for some time we could be delayed and have some more accumulation, just going sideways, up and down, zigzagging here around here, and then continuing the trend up, which, by the way, everyone believes that this is not the final top. The 64.5K is not the final top for this bull cycle. it would be very, very, very unusual to have a round top instead of a normal, as you have been used to already, a normal point for the top, so like a volcano, which, by the way, reminds me about the volcanoes in El Salvador. So no one believes this is the top and that we are starting a bear cycle now. So I believe this is accumulation. We might go down from here, but we are still on a bullish market, and I will explain later with the charts. So let's check the RSI. As you guys know, the price to time model, the RSI is a weekly RSI. We have been touching the mid-cycle, the 2013 mid-cycle top correction, which means that after the mid-cycle top we had a 75% correction, and that correction brought us down here to this level of the RSI, which is the orange dashed line. We are now below that line, and we have been trying to fight it and get above the line again, but it's not easy, and Bitcoin has been struggling to maintain this level of support. So let's see how this evolves. But the correct situation for us to be right now would be above the orange dashed line, and of course trying to emulate what happened in 2013, which was a local top in the middle of the bull cycle and then continuation to the final top that ended the bull cycle of 2013. So if that happens, we have to go above this orange dashed line and continue to overbought territory, and then we will have a final top for the bull cycle that we are living right now. So that's the analysis for the price to time model for now. So to sum it up, I believe we are getting a bit delayed. We should not be below the yellow candle pattern, and especially the price level should be already going up. So the correct, in my opinion, for the price to time model to work perfectly, we should have the price action going up already in between the orange exponential line inside this rectangle and in this yellow candle pattern. So we should be in the middle, and that's not happening, so I guess we will be a bit delayed. But that's it for the price to time model. There's nothing else I can say right now. We can just go to the MRI strategy. Sorry, sometimes I have these blanks. The MRI strategy, and we start with the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, I don't like the way this is going. As I explained in the previous video yesterday, this was the update video during the week, only 15 to 20 minutes updates I have from Monday to Friday, as you guys know, and then on Saturdays we have the live stream. But as I explained in my previous video of yesterday, this candle here should not be bigger. The body of the candle should not close in a position that makes it bigger than the previous candle. If that happens, if this candle closes below the actual current price, as you guys can see here, this is exactly at the same, not exactly as predicted, but this is exactly the same level as the opening of the green candle. And if the red candle closes below this level, which will happen in 24 hours plus a few hours, then this becomes an engulfing candle, and this is a very, very bearish sign, which no one needs right now. So I don't like the way this is going. If we have to have some kind of movement to the upside, this would be really great. I would prefer this candle, this red candle, to be halfway to the price level as this is right now, so around the 37,000. But if we continue to go below the 35,800, probably we will have an engulfing candle here, and no one wants that. That's a bearish sign, and it could take us lower than we currently are. So I guess people are really, expecting for tomorrow's, the weekly close, which will happen in 24 plus a few hours, to be above the current level. So we still have one day and a few hours to check what happens. But this is the most important thing that we should discuss in the weekly chart right now. So actually we are still inside the triangle. We came back down to the inside of this triangle. I was expecting the top side of the triangle to be support, but we broke it a bit to the downside, and that puts us exactly at the same level as the previous opening of the previous week. So I don't like it, no one does, but that's the fact, and we have to live with it and plan for it. The most important thing is you should have a plan for either case. If we start to go up from here, and you should have a plan for if we start to go down from here, which I believe there's still a small probability, but I'm inclined to increase that probability in my head, going from 10% or 7%. I was thinking about the probability of going down and below the 30K level that we got a few weeks ago. But I'm starting to think that maybe I should increase it to maybe 20% again. 1 in 5 chances that we go lower than the 30K to find support on the 50 period SMA on the weekly. That would not be totally stupid. So it's possible that we could go down and find support on the 50 to start the reactivation of the price action to the upside. But let's see what happens. We still have to wait for the close of the week, and this will be very, very important to see how this candle closes. So that's it for the weekly. The RSI is just going sideways, as you guys know. There's no action. It's completely neutral because we have been going up. We are now going down. And this is still the number one. This is still a green one after an MRI bottom. So there's still some hope that we could start to go up from here. And if the support is really strong, that's probably what will happen. I would give it a 4 in 5 chances that we start to go up, but there's still 1 in 5 that we can go down. So beware of that. Just make your plans, plan A, plan B, and if you need a plan C, do it also, because you should be prepared for any kind of situation. The MACD continues to go down. Of course, this is a lagging indicator, so after a drop like this that we started to go down around 58K, and we are now around 35. Of course, the MACD had to be bearish, so the blue line is below the orange line, and the bars are now being stable around this level here. So this shows that the bearish momentum is, of course, losing strength. And if you guys check the bars, you can see that the gap between the bars was really big here at the beginning of the drop, and then it has been decreasing. This gap has been decreasing between the bars, and this one 2 weeks ago was the biggest one. And now after that we had a light red one showing some promise that we could have a reversal of the price action. However, this bar is again dark red, and although it's still the same size and it's increasing just a hair and then decreasing again, but it's the same size as the previous one. So I see that the bearish momentum is losing strength, but we still need to understand if this is going to reverse before the close of the week or after the close of the week. So we have to wait, of course, one more day and a few hours to check that. But let's go check the 1 day chart. And so here it is. We have on the daily, this was our bullish chart. However, having the weekly chart being bearish, we still had, at least for some time, some hope here because it was becoming really bullish, the daily chart. As you guys can see, also the MACD was turning bullish, all the green bars here. But now we are again decreasing. The RSI is going sideways, showing nothing, just neutrality. And the only bullish sign that we have is that the MACD is still, the blue line is still above the orange and going up, pointing up, but the gap is decreasing between the two. So it's kind of going in the weekly direction, and the MRI top did not help for sure. We had an MRI top here. Of course, this would have been much worse if the MRI top was exactly on the first reversal candle here when we touch a trend line. But now we are going down, and I guess the 1 to 4 candle correction could be over. And if this is over, it's very good, because if we go up from here, we have a close tomorrow. So in 1 day and a few hours, we will have a good close, not an engulfing candle. but probably a reversal of the price action candle, being this a green one, and that would be great to have next week, to have a continuation of the reversal and going a bit to the upside, just showing some promise that we probably found a bottom around 30k and that we are just consolidating, accumulating here, and then waiting for the price reversal, the price action reversal to the upside. So that's my hope, but as I said already before in the previous videos, and I'm going to say it again, I believe that we still have close to a 1 in 5 chances of going to the downside, but I will only, this will be only verified if we go below 30k. So we can still go down and have more accumulation at the bottom part of the triangle, but if we don't go below the 30k level that we were before, for me that's still the 4 in 5 chances of going up, and this is just accumulation and it's part of the zigzag going up and down, but there's still 1 in 5 that we could go lower than the 30k and find support on the 50 period SMA on the weekly chart. So that's my current outlook of the charts, at least from the weekly, from the price to time model, from the weekly, from the daily. This is what I've been checking, and you guys see here that on the daily we are fighting for our lives. This candle is very, very important. We should close this candle on the green at least and stop this downtrend that we had, the 1 to 4 candle correction on the MRI. Although the MRI top was the third candle, the third red candle, we can consider this the MRI top 1 to 4 candle correction if this candle here becomes a green doji and we start the new day on the green too. So we have to close it. This one, I would love this one to close as a green doji today, and then tomorrow to see a new green candle going to the upside. That would be the perfect scenario for foreseeing some kind of price reversal before we go lower, and this level is really important. We cannot lose the 35.5k level, or the weekly candle will be very, very bearish. So that's it for the daily. Let me just check quickly the 4 hour and see the BitMEX funding rate. So we were going up, but the triangle now became resistance again on the 4 hours. So we were outside of the triangle already, but now we came back in. And the BitMEX funding rate was, of course, favoring the bulls, but now it's already showing some signs of long positions growing, which means the bears will be in control. So the sentiment is the opposite of the BitMEX funding rate, as you guys know already. That's how I use it. Sorry for that. But it's not so big, and as you guys can see, it's now even shorter, so it's now close to 0. So I guess this candle is being very, very decisive, and this is what we should check for the next few hours until at least the daily close, and see if on the 4 hours or the daily we will have, the daily, if we have a green doji followed by a green candle going to the upside. So guys, don't forget to check. In the next few hours, this will be very, very important, and tomorrow the weekly close will be very, very important. If all this fails, of course, you should consider that the 1 in 5 chances of going lower will have a probability, a relevant probability of happening. And then you should plan for that. Okay. Of course, we cannot analyze anything. I'm not going to use the Pro Indicators framework. I would just like to show you guys that yesterday on my video, I said that this bottom of the trend channel was going to meet the price action around here. It did, and now it's trying to create a support for the price action to continue the short-term uptrend. As you guys know, the trend channel on the 4 hours represents the support and resistance context of the 1 hour, so it's the lower time frame, and this means that the gray boxes on the 1 hour chart correspond on the 4 hour to these green and red zigzag lines here, which are the trend channel for the 4 hour. So this is exactly the same level as the gray boxes on the 1 hour. And let me just show you guys so that you can see that. So if I go to the 1 hour, let's wait it to plot. So as you guys can see, the gray box is exactly at the same level as the price action, and the resistance gray box is above that price action. So you have this distance, and then of course you have a new trend channel which corresponds to the lower time frame below the 1 hour. But if you consider that this is the resistance context and this is the support context on the 1 hour, when you change to the 4 hour, that will be this trend channel, the red and green lines around here. So on the 1 hour, we are exactly at support, which is good because it probably will send the price action a bit up, and it created a support, even checking this on the 4 hour. So we are in the middle, in the 4 hour, we are in the middle of the context, the support and resistance context, but in the 1 hour, we are already at the bottom context, which means support. So probably we will have a short-term, not for sure, of course, but a short-term reversal on the price action, and probably we could get out of the triangle again to have a new try at that level. But don't forget that this will start to come down also. So the red zigzag, which is the resistance context on the 1 hour, will create resistance lower as we try to go up. So that's the analysis for the pro framework. The momentum is of course going down because of all this drop, and the analysis of course of the order books, the strength of the buys against the sells. So right now we are in the middle of the momentum, but this is a downtrend, so we will have to wait for the right conditions. Probably when the momentum is back down here and all the lines, the sine wave and everything is starting to go up, we will have a bigger impulse to the upper side and probably get out of this triangle. But that's it for the Pro Indicators framework. And let's check, because you can never check Bitcoin without the complete context around it. And here we are on the dollar. The dollar has been going up like crazy, and this of course has been stopping Bitcoin to go up because people use it in an inverse correlation. So when the dollar is going up, usually the institutions sell Bitcoin into dollar to get this difference, to arbitrage between the dollar and Bitcoin. And if the dollar is showing some strength, they will sell Bitcoin to get the dollar. And then if the dollar comes back down, they will sell the dollar to buy Bitcoin, and they will do it, this arbitrage in between dollar and Bitcoin all the time. So that this is one more reason, and this is why it's so important to analyze the Bitcoin charts also in comparison to the dollar chart, which is the DXY, the dollar index against all other currencies in the world. And if the dollar is becoming really strong against all the other currencies, it means that the valuation of Bitcoin will of course decrease. So that's why usually when the dollar is in a big uptrend, people sell Bitcoin to get dollars, and then when the dollar starts to go down, they accumulate more Bitcoin by selling the dollar into Bitcoin. So that's why you should always try to compare the dollar chart with the Bitcoin chart and see the inverse correlation they have. So as you guys can see, for the last few weeks, we have been going up to the dollar, and if you compare it with the weekly chart of Bitcoin, we have been going down. So that's exactly what's the inverse correlation I was referring to. Of course, going to gold. Gold is on a critical support level. I have this new trend line here that I was drawing before. And as you guys can see, it starts really a long time ago in May of 2019. And this trend line has been supporting the price of gold over this time from May again, if I'm not, from May of 2019 until now. And we are now at a very, very critical support, in my opinion. So this trend line on gold shows us that it has been supporting the price here and here and here. And now we are coming down in a fury. And this could be a 1 to 4 candle correction because of this MRI top on gold. But we are now on a critical support for gold. And we have been here since yesterday. So I guess this trend line means something, and it's really being support for gold right now. And if we cross this line to the downside, I bet gold is going lower than that. And I don't know if we are not going to break the lowest point of the year, which was this candle around here. So right now, it's very important for gold to have this support and this trend line not broken, or we could see lower prices than this one, which was the lowest of the year in March, and this was around $1,670 per ounce. And let's see how this evolves. But I guess if we break this trend line for gold, we are going down for sure. Maybe the salvation would be the RSI being oversold, and at the same time finding support here on the 100 period, 100 weeks moving average. But however, this is already, it's already above the lowest price of the year, and this was an MRI bottom. So I hope that this trend line holds gold, or otherwise we will go down, and I don't know where this support could be. Maybe the 100 period SMA would be support, but a very weak one, by the way. So that's it for gold. Let's check the S&P. The S&P is in a serious situation now. So as you guys see here, I have analyzed the S&P today. I have this wedge, this really extended wedge here going up. And as you guys know, usually when you have a wedge, the breakout usually, if you have a wedge going up, the breakout usually tends to be to the downside. If you have a wedge coming down, usually the breakout is to the upper side. And in this case, the traditional one happened. We broke the wedge. The S&P is going down. And this is a very serious situation because I believe we are going to have a big retracement on the S&P. I've been watching some other analysts already. I have to tell you guys, I'm not a specialist in the S&P. I just use the charts like I use them to analyze Bitcoin and gold and other assets. But I've been watching some other analysts analyzing the S&P charts, and they almost agree, everyone agrees with each other, that this could mean a 10% fall for the S&P from here. And that could mean like $400 and something below the breakout price. So 425 at least, which could take us to the 50 period SMA support, which would also be the same support that we had here and here on this big volatile candle here. So it's not so crazy to think that the S&P could retrace 10% and find support on the 50 period SMA. But if I was into S&P right now, I would be selling the crap out of it and wait for the developments. So don't forget, the wedge was broken for the first time after all this time, since March 2020 to now. We broke for the first time the wedge, the going up wedge on the S&P. And that's a very, very bearish sign. So expect a 10% retracement here. I would not be into the S&P right now, and I would be trying to sell everything I have. Luckily, I'm not at this moment. I'm not into the S&P, so I don't have any skin in the game. But I'm just telling you guys what's happening. Also, there's some kind of correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin. So this drop is not very good. Also, if you think about the correlation with Bitcoin, it could mean that we could have a bit more downside with Bitcoin. And to finalize everything, let's take a look at the long-term chart. We are still in a bull market. As you guys know already, I explained this before. We have this trend line here, which was the trend line that started at the bottom of December 2018 and has been supporting the price so far until this area, which was in October 2020. So almost 2 years, this trend line has been supporting the price action before this explosion, this exponential explosion to the upside that we have been having on Bitcoin since October last year. And then I decided to start a new trend line, which would represent this exponential rise in a better way. And that trend line starts with the low of March 2020, which corresponds more or less to the period when COVID was starting to be news. And then it supported the price there, and before going up, it supported the price again on this big drop we had so far. So, as you guys know, this is a very, very important indication for me. And again, this trend line supported the price, as you guys can see here. After the drop we had in the last few hours and days, we had support again on the trend line. And as I said before, if we continue to go sideways, we will break this trend line. And if we break this trend line, then it's a very bearish sign again. So for me, this trend line on Bitcoin is crucial. It's critical that we maintain this trend line and we don't go below the 35K. If that happens, I will probably become a bit bearish. Although I still believe the second trend line that comes from 2018, December 2018, is still going up and we are still above that trend line. So this would be my last critical resource, if I can say that, if I can call it that way. But even if we come down and we find that this trend line, the second trend line coming from here to here, and now around the end of September, beginning of October this year, will be exactly at the all-time high level of 2017, which means 220K. We could still go to 20K and find support again on this trend line. And I would still call it a bull market because the trend line is going up and supporting the price action. However, this would not be very, very good for a lot of people. And a lot of people probably would sell and the weak hands would completely get rid of all their Bitcoins. And that could mean that during the summer, we would have a really bad time in Bitcoin. So that's this is what I wanted to say about the charts. Of course, on Saturdays, I usually take a bit longer to analyze everything, try to explain everything. And let's see, I've not been looking at the chat. So guys, I will leave the chart on and the screen share, and I will take a look at the chat and try to see if everyone is... if there's any kind of problem and everything is good. It seems so. So let's see, guys. If you have any questions, please, this is the time to ask them, because today I cannot be on the stream for too long. I will have to end the stream in about 20 minutes. So let's try to make the most out of this remaining time and see if you guys have any doubts or if you guys have any questions you want to ask me. Hey, Bitcoin motorist, how are you? There's been a long time since I last saw you here. I hope you are enjoying this stream, and of course you are one of the moderators together with Bichimoku, so I hope you enjoyed my analysis of the chart. So Bitcoin motorist is here. I'm glad to see him. He's a good friend from some time ago already because of course, Tone Vase. He was also, I met him because of Tone Vase on his channel and on Twitter. Let's see who else is here. Tiago is here, of course, one of the OGs of this channel, and Alexandre also here. Bichimoku, where are you, Bichimoku? You are not here. I'm going to spank you later. Okay, so let's see. Any questions? Bitcoin may drop, but will hit 1890 this year. Well, actually, I still think we are going higher than that. There's still time, There's still time if you guys look at the price to time model. Even if we are delayed to the top and this will occur outside of the rectangle, which was what I was expecting, to have the top inside the rectangle, exactly at this vortex here of the rectangle, this the corner. Even if we go outside of this rectangle, we could still have a few months, 2 months more of time to reach a top. Although I have to be honest, each day more, I believe that if we want to go to 280K as predicted here by the price to time model, this will become harder and harder every day if we don't get out of this accumulation area. But it's still okay for me if you go to 150K. I don't mind. I bet you guys don't mind either. So I would say that we would break the 100K this year. So let's see. At least the 100K. There are too many whales manipulating the market. Well, I would not call it manipulating the market. I would call it they have the buying power. And if the market is not so liquid as other markets like gold or the S&P, it's not their fault. They have a lot of money. If they buy a lot of Bitcoin or sell a lot of Bitcoin, you know, I don't call it manipulating the market. I call it having a lot of buying power. That's it. The markets are really democratic, guys. Manipulating a market means, you know, very complex things you can do just to make more money. But just because a whale buys, you know, Michael Saylor, for example, when he buys $1 billion in Bitcoin, do you think this is manipulating the market? It's not manipulating the market. The guy has money. And it's not his fault if he buys $1 billion and Bitcoin, you know, explodes above 100K. I would not call it that manipulating the market. I call it a free market. He can buy whatever he wants in Bitcoin. And if it makes Bitcoin go up, well, good for everyone. If he sells $1 billion and Bitcoin comes down, well, tough. But it's, you know, it's his money. He can buy and sell whatever he wants. So I don't call it manipulating the market. I just call it a very illiquid market that we still have in Bitcoin. Until we get to at least 3-4 trillion in Bitcoin, this will still be a very liquid market, and everyone with $1 billion or $2 billion can move the market. Let's see here. As I said in the Telegram, I'm doing DCA with this dip. Yeah. I was doing DCA, but I stopped now. I'm just waiting to see if we are going lower. I bought 2 more Bitcoins when this was coming down. I can tell you guys, being totally transparent, I bought 1 Bitcoin around, I can't remember the levels. Let me check here. Let me see if this is updated. So I bought 1 at, oh, sorry, this is updating. I have to wait a few seconds. My portfolio is dynamic. It updates every time I open the portfolio. It updates the prices, and then it takes a bit. Okay, so being totally transparent, I bought 2 Bitcoins in the last few days. I bought 1 around, let's see here, 39. No, this should be wrong. Oh yeah, 39,000. Yeah, so I bought 2 Bitcoins around 39K. We are not so distant from that, but I was waiting to, if in case we go lower, I was just waiting to see if I will accumulate more, but the last 2 Bitcoins I bought was around 39,000. So just $3,000 above the current price level, I guess. 3,000 and change. So let's see how that develops. I'm for those 2 Bitcoins, of course, I'm in the negative territory right now, so I'm below 0. Let's see how this evolves, but I'm not going to sell, of course. I'm going to wait because I believe we are not going much lower. So let's see how that goes. Plan C is to buy more if we go below 30K. Exactly. So I'm waiting to see what happens. Of course, if we go again to 30K, I would probably buy 1 more Bitcoin or 2. And if we go below 30K, for sure I will buy more. For sure I will buy more if we go below 30. And especially if we go to 20K again, I will sell everything I have, including my boxers and even my car and my bicycle, and everything I have I will sell if we go to 20K, and just to accumulate more sats. Call me crazy, but I believe that we are going much higher later in the year and probably next year too. So I believe in Bitcoin. Alexander is saying that he's going to... Jesus, be careful there, man. Don't use too much of your... the kids' savings, yeah, okay, but be careful. That's it. It's just advice. It's just a friendly advice. When you have responsibility with kids, okay, you should also think about that. So don't go all in. Don't go all in. Wait a bit and try to see how this evolves. Don't go all in, because you never know. There's always a possibility that something goes wrong, and that's not good. Let's see. Well, the death cross. Let's see how the death cross is going. I'm going to the weekly chart. Sorry, daily chart. Death cross is on the daily. Well, this is exactly the death cross now. It's happening right now. I don't even care. So here's the death cross, and I believe maybe the death cross is what's stopping us to go up. But it's also not sending us down, unless if you count that the last 4 days are because of the death cross. But the death cross exactly happened during this stream here. Well, it started when the new day started, today, Saturday, of course. And we are now green. And we are now green. Here we are now green. This is a green doji for today. Oh, damn, we are red again. But that, just a few seconds ago, that would be what I would love to see for today's close. A green doji for today's candle. And let's see, any more questions? I will have to end the stream really soon, guys. Really soon, because today is a special day. As you guys know, the Portuguese team is going to play for the Euro Cup. And this will happen at 5 p.m. But I have to be somewhere before the game. And then I will go directly to the game. So to watch the game with some friends. So I will have to end the stream today. That's why we started around 2 p.m. today. And I will have to end it around 3 p.m. max. So we have a few more minutes if you guys want to ask me something. Let's see. Yeah, 1 day chart, exactly. Unfortunately, I have to go. Well, no problem. Alexander, see you soon. André Ferrão is asking me to explain a bit more in detail about the dollar versus BTC. And I will just go to the dollar in 1 or 2 minutes. Hank Jones is also saying, well, if the whales are working in concert, is it not collusion? Well, man, you can work in concert with me. The big difference is they have money and we don't. I mean, we have money, but it's not the amount of money to move a $1 trillion market. If they have the money alone or together to buy an asset which is illiquid and that moves the market, I don't call it manipulation. I call it a free market, man. Manipulation would be something really, really different. You know, it would be like a lot of whales coming together to, for example, short the market, heavily short the market, and then exactly at the same time sell $5 billion in Bitcoin just to get the shorts and 100% 100x leverage. If a lot of whales do that together, well, It's still not illegal because this is not a regulated market, but maybe then I would call that manipulating the market. Otherwise, I don't see that a guy buying $1 billion in Bitcoin and moving the market is manipulation. I will not call it manipulation. I saw the green. Yeah, I saw the green too. And that's exactly what I want the Doji candle to look like when it closes later tonight. Okay, let me just go quickly to dollar versus Bitcoin. So I thought I had explained this already in a good way, but that's so the thing is, the dollar is the world reserve currency, as you guys know, and a lot of Bitcoin is bought and sold in dollars. So of course, the big players, the guys that are taking a look at the dollar constantly, they see the dollar in an MRI bottom. They see the support of the dollar being very, very, very strong, and they see that this price structure, if you see this, if you look at this, just when this candle happened and then this candle happened, and you imagine you don't have this and this. This is, of course, and knowing that this has been support for a long time already. Of course, you can guess already that the probable move from here is going up. So what happens if you have a lot of dollars, if you have a lot of Bitcoin and you see that the dollar is going up precisely at the same time as Bitcoin starts to come down. So what would you do? Of course, you would sell your Bitcoin to get more dollars because the dollar price is going to go up, making the price on Bitcoin to go down. Because the price of Bitcoin is measured in dollars. So if the dollar is more valuable, you can buy more Bitcoin with the same amount of dollars. So there's an arbitrage there that those guys, the big institutions, like to do. They like to, when the dollar starts to go up, they sell the Bitcoin to have more dollars. And then when the dollar starts to come down, they sell the dollar to buy more Bitcoin. So they use the dollar to buy Bitcoin. So they arbitrage between one and the other just to increase their positions in dollars or Bitcoin. It doesn't matter because you are increasing your value of your portfolio. Even measured in dollars or measured in Bitcoin, the value of the portfolio is increasing. So this is what exactly I do between Ethereum and Bitcoin. What I do is I arbitrage between Ethereum and Bitcoin to accumulate more Bitcoin because I like to measure my net value in Bitcoin. So what I do is if Ethereum goes as compared, so the pair Ethereum Bitcoin goes up, of course I can sell some Ethereum to buy Bitcoin. I do the exchange directly, so I use Ethereum to buy Bitcoin. If Ethereum goes very, very low on that pair, I can buy some Ethereum back, usually the same amount or just a bit more, and then I will keep the rest of the Bitcoin that I bought with the first Ethereum I sold. So I increase my net value by arbitraging between Ethereum and Bitcoin. And for example, my next strategy, I sold some Ethereum to buy Bitcoin, or I should say, I bought some Bitcoin with Ethereum when Ethereum went above the 0.08 level on the pair Ethereum Bitcoin. And then it went down to 0.05 something. I didn't do anything then. But if Ethereum goes above again that level and it reaches the 0.1 on the pair Ethereum Bitcoin, I will of course buy more Bitcoin with Ethereum because Ethereum is becoming more valuable than Bitcoin on the pair, and then I can arbitrage. So I can get more Bitcoin using less Ethereum. So that's what they do with the dollar and Bitcoin. I don't do it with the dollar and Bitcoin because usually when I use fiat in my exchanges, I have to use euros. I analyze in dollars, but when I have when I buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin, I get euros or, in exchange for Bitcoin. But when I have to arbitrage between two currencies, I usually do it between Bitcoin and Ethereum or Ethereum, Bitcoin on the pair. So that's it. I hope I helped you to understand that. But that's the way you increase your value, arbitraging between two currencies. Okay, guys, I have just 2 minutes, so let me stop the screen share. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me see here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream today, but I really have to finish it by 3 p.m. and I have to go somewhere because I have some people waiting for a meeting. I'm sorry if today was not as long as you guys are used to, but I hope I have explained all the analysis I've been doing this week during this live stream, and I really enjoyed having you guys here. So please, if you enjoy the content, don't forget, gently touch the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If it's the first time you are watching this content and you like it, subscribe, and don't forget to touch the bell icon and select all notifications so that you get notified when I upload a video or when I have a live stream. And I hope to see you guys back here on Monday when I publish the first daily analysis of the week, which is usually on Mondays, but I will be covering or I will be very attentive to what's happening tomorrow for the weekly close, and if something really crazy happens, I will of course or make a video, a special edition video, or tweet, or go to the Telegram group. It depends on what happens. Okay, guys? So I really enjoyed having you guys here, and I guess I will see you guys again in the next one. So see you then. Bye-bye.